Hi everyone, this time I'm focusing on question 4 from the life of Pi extract. In this question, we basically need to make a judgment because the question says to what extent, right? So it means that how far or to what extent are you agreeing or disagreeing with a given statement. It's not just yes or no question, right? So the first step to answer this kind of question is to pick a side. Imagine that some music is playing, right? You're asked how loud it is. Instead of saying, I agree that the music is loud, means you're not asked that is the music loud or not. You're asked how loud it is. So you should support your statement about how loud it is with your reasoning. Now look at the question, line 20 to the end. If you analyze line 18 or 19, let's suppose you get 0 marks for that, and you know this thing. So the best thing is draw a box around these lines, means line 20 to end on your paper. Don't go outside this box, right? This is one of the suggestions. So what the statement says here. It means hyena could be seen as funny rather than threatening. The writer suggests that the hyena is actually no serious threat to Pi. So here is the statement. This is the argument you're stepping into. They are suggesting that this hyena is not scary at all, right? It's actually kind of funny. So what is your job here? You're the judge here now. You need to reread line 20 to end, and then you are thinking, you're deciding, is it funny or is it terrifying? Means hyena is funny or hyena is terrifying, or it's a mix of both. Maybe you could find out something else about hyena that come across by the end of the whole source, right? Now comes to what extent. So you see, this is not a yes or no question. You can't say, I fully agree, I fully disagree. You can say, I agree partially, but there is something else you support your answer with. Or you can say, I agree in the surface, but deep down there is something else, right? So there are different ways how you frame your answer. Now look at the keywords used in the bullet points. I want you to consider it as IMR. I means impression, M means method, and R mean references. So IMR, right? So impressions mean how does the text make you feel like that about hyena? And method means the techniques, all the things that the writer has used to convey his message to you. And the reference is this is your proof, basically, something from the text, right? It's a textual detail. So don't be scared of these 20 marks. Read the statement, pick a side, and just prove it with the text. That's it. Ask yourself three simple things here. How much is a statement true? For example, the statement is hyena could be seen funny, right? Is it totally true, mostly true, or a little bit true? For example, if it is fully true, why the writer is asking from you then? It means it must have different interpretations, right? So, to what extent do you agree with this statement that hyena could be seen funny? Then, where is the proof? Second thing is, where is the proof? I mean, find out something from the text that shows that hyena could be seen, means seen funny here. Then the last thing is how did the writer do it? For example, if you have the proof with you, if you have the quote with you, find out did the writer use the verb here, or adjective, or simile to make you feel that way? I mean, which technique writer has used? Now come to the first bullet point that talks about the impressions. And when you think of impressions, it means you are answering what, right? So what means your personal reaction or the first idea you get about hyena, right? When the question asks for your impressions of how the hyena behaves, it is basically asking, what do you think of the hyena? Do you feel sorry for hyena? Are you really scared of it? Do you think it's crazy or being funny? Means here, while answering this kind of question, you need to notice hyena's actions there, because all the actions, they leave mental impressions on you, right? For example, after reading the text, you come to realize that the hyena is terrified, not terrifying, because basically we humans, we're scared of animals. It's pretty natural, right? But maybe possible that hyena is terrified right now, or maybe you may say that its behavior is unpredictable because animals are unpredictable, right? Now come to the second bullet point, which answers how question. or you can say writer's method. Here in this part, we're basically discussing the ways, the techniques the writer has used to make you feel a certain way. It's basically how behind your impression. For example, you have made an impression, now you're answering how the writer has created that impression. If your impression is that the hyena is terrifying, okay, what method writer has used then? It means the writer has made you feel that way, for example, by using strong verbs. He used the verb action words as lapped, seized, hacked, or he has used vivid adjectives describing himself or hyena. So you can say, you can have this adjectives here, hair raising, high pitched, or he has used sensory details. It's all about senses, means sense of sound, sight, smell. Did he use such kind of this method there? Means there is a phrase like claws loudly clicking or yip yip yip. Means what kind of fear these words or sound has created. Or did he use the figurative language like similes, metaphor, or personification? You have to find that, right? Or he has used sentence structure, means these are the different tools he's using. Sentence structure, for example, you can say simple, short sentences to create panic there, or you have found some long, complex sentences. So, what is the purpose behind that? So, how you talk about this writer's method there? You can say the writer uses the method of sensory language, or you can start like this by using the verb seized, the writer showing us what means you have to find out. Then you can also say the technique of repetition, means he's using repetition, lap after lap. What does it create? What kind of feeling it creates, right? Now come to the third bullet point, which answers where question. It means you gather all the references from the text. So at this point, you need to know what is a reference. It is a short code because you are not supposed to write lengthy codes from the text. Or you may say it's a specific node to a moment in the text. Because this is a proof, or you may say it's an evidence that you pull directly from the text to back up your point, because you can't simply say hyena is scary, that's it. No, you have to prove that. You must have some evidence for that, why you think like this, using your text, because you can't say anything on your own. So how can you use this in your answer now? First, you state your impression. So impression means your idea, right? What is your idea? For example, the writer wants to show that hyena is not just dangerous, but completely unpredictable. How can you say that? Means the method now. You identify what method the writer has used for this purpose. So the writer uses the method of high pitched sensory details, you say, means sounds he has used to create this feeling of being dangerous. So you give the reference now. Where is the proof now from the text? You can say, for example, the reference to it's yip 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 in the high pitched stop. It doesn't sound like a typical animal, then you comment on that. It sounds like madness, you see, which is hair raising for pi as well. Now, this is the text from line 20 to the end. So I want you to look at the orange part references here. So the phrases like lapped over the zebra, then ran around the zebra in a circle, lap after lap, running in circles, ran in circles. All these phrases, they're showing hyena's movement here, which is chaotic, definitely. It's chaotic, repetitive, and almost mad, like mad behavior here. It's not hurting anyone, or it's not even a direct attack on pi. So these references basically they support the funny part of the statement, but funny in an absurd manner. So we can say it is not calm predator, it's a panicked animal. Now look at the green part references here, which highlight hyena's condition. For example, we have phrases like whimpering and hesitating, yip, 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 gaze downwards, deep groans, heavy panting, hacked and coughed, vomited, shaking and whining. All these references they show that hyena is sick, terrified, and distressed. And we have the words like or verbs with ing like whimpering and vomiting. It make it seem like or supports the idea that this creature is not a dominant one because it's weak right now, or it's not at all powerful threat. However, the high pitched yip yip yip, these sounds that the writer has written, and the deep groans, it also paint a picture of a creature that is unstable. And you know, when some animal is sick, or when some animal is in a terrible state, which is arguably more dangerous because it's completely unpredictable because that animal is weak right now. So you never know what the next moment how that animal can behave.